Chapter 44, Packing. Today is Christmas Day Eve, which means everything is closed, which is great because we have the whole city of Chicago to ourselves, which means today the secret spot will remain a secret. So Dr. Morcassius planned to meet for us there today because before we begin packing for Orlando. Hannah was waiting for us at the Conservatory Central Park Drive, the Green Line station, when our train heading toward Harlem Lake pulled in there. "Hi," said Hannah as we were getting off the train. I thought you were celebrating Christmas," I asked Hannah because she's not an awareist. "I did. And I did lunch, and I'm currently spiritual but not religious. That is enough for me," said Hannah. "Oh, okay," I said. "You look nice with your hood down," said Hannah. "Thanks," I said back with a smile. "To the secret spot," said Dr. Morcassius after we were done giving our greetings. The pond was completely frozen, and with 6 inches of snow on the ground, with it snowing slightly still and no leaves on the trees, looked absolutely beautiful. "What is the agenda?" Sam asked when we arrived at the pond. "I have some things to discuss," answered Dr. Morcassius. "Like what?" I asked. "Like the reminder of what all 4 of our rules are. I am the driver, Sam, you are the navigator, and George, you are the solver," answered Dr. Morcassius. And Hannah," I asked. "I'm going to house sit and guard Robbinsog to make sure nothing happens while you were gone," Hannah answered. "Do Mommy and Daddy know about this?" I asked. "Yes," answered Dr. Morcassius. "What about your 2 daddies?" I asked Hannah. "Yep, they know about it too," answered Hannah. George, everything is worked out," said Dr. Morcassius. "Okay," I said. "Now, Hannah, you know I'm going to call you every day while you are house sitting for us," answered Dr. Morcassius. "Yes," answered Hannah. "Good. Now, Sam and George, I have a job for you, which you may not need to do," said Dr. Morcassius. Let me guess, is that we need to be ones to call, Hannah, if you can't?" Sam asked. "Yes," answered Dr. Morcassius. "What is the phone number?" I asked, "What's your phone number?" I asked, getting out my phone to plug it in. 872-141-5189, Hannah answered. "Good, I remember that all," I said, sticking the number into my phone. Sam, I could tell, was doing the same thing. "You got that, Sam?" Hannah asked. "Yes," Sam answered. When will you be outside Robbinsog?" I asked. "Just to explore the loop if I feel like it," Hannah asked. George, she is watching Robbinsog, for 11 nights. She has to leave sometime," said Dr. Morcassius. "But what if the return strikes while she is out?" George asked. Hannah then took something that looked like a bow and arrow out of her pocket. Dr. Morcassius? If you would," said Hannah. "With pleasure," said Dr. Morcassius. Hannah then fired the bow, and then Dr. Morcassius began shaking violently. "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah!" said Dr. Morcassius, and then he collapsed in the snow. Dr. Morcassius, I yelled. "Relax, George, it is a taser. He will be fine," said Sam. "That's right," said Dr. Morcassius, getting up from the snow. "Here is how the system works, and I want to thank Dr. Morcassius. Here's how this works. Here's how the system works, and I want to thank Dr. Morcassius and Hannah for helping me build this. So I was able to create a taser catapult that will fire at the return if she enters through the door through a sensor I have set up on the door handle," said Sam. "And if I need to get in, I must press this remote to turn off the taser when I get in," said Hannah. What if the return doesn't enter through the door?" I asked. The return has always contacted us through ground. It will be fine," said Sam. "What if the return slips notes under the door?" I asked. "Then the taser will fire," even if it is not open, providing a shock, whereby he or she to stop, answered Sam. You also put a sensor on the door itself and not the handle? I asked. Yep, answered Sam. What if a paper gets slid under the door without the sensors picking up? And what if the door gets spray painted and nothing happens because the return didn't touch it? Believe me, the sensors will pick it up, answered Sam. But what if an innocent person gets hurt? We're trying to protect the innocent, I asked. Then someone innocent gets hurt. Violating international rights, even by accident, is the problem of the person who violated them, answered Sam. That was when I stopped asking questions. You did discuss this with Mom and Dad, Dr. Morcassius asked, brushing the snow off him from the ground. Yep, and they are thrilled, answered Sam. One more question. Why are we trying to solve the return's puzzles if at the same time we are trying to capture the return, I asked. Just to speed up the process if we don't catch the return. Also, when we say capture, we just mean questioning. Not anything bad, answered Dr. Morcassius. There was a pause that ended when Hannah began talking. What time do you want to meet at Robbinsog tomorrow, Hannah asked. 8, so we can leave by 9, answered Dr. Morcassius. I know I'm not going, but remind me, where will you be ending each day? When? Hannah asked. Tomorrow, Cincinnati. Wednesday, Atlanta. Thursday, and the week after it, Orlando. Next Friday, Valdosta, Georgia. Next Saturday, Mammoth Cave National Park. Next Sunday, here, but late, because we need to worship that morning. Dr. Morcassius answered. I'd love to go, but I must stay up here and study over break if I want to get my law license in the next 6 months, said Hannah. I know, said Dr. Morcassius. We better get back to Robbinsog and begin to pack, because the sun is beginning to set, said Sam. You're probably right, said Dr. Morcassius. We then walked, while I was wheeled, back to Conservatory Central Park Drive, Green Line Station. And no joke, there was a Green Line train toward Ashland 63rd pulling in as we walked onto the platform. After that, it was about 15 more minutes before we arrived at State and Lake Station, where I needed to get off to transfer to the Red Line due to my inability to get off the Green Line at Adams and Wabash because it isn't ADA accessible. Hannah and Dr. Morcassius kissed, and then Hannah was going down to the Red Line subway with me only to go the opposite direction than me. I arrived at Red Jackson 10 minutes later, and it was nice for me to have that alone time on the train, even if it was really short, because I needed it, which is why I'm taking the Green Line into the loop to head back to Robbinsog. I always get off at State and Lake, and Dr. Morcassius and Sam stay on to Adams and Wabash, and then meet me at the Red Line Jackson entrance, like they are now. How were you able to convince Mommy and Daddy to let Hannah house sit? You've never done that before, I asked. I showed them an article about house sitting on the internet and how it stops burglaries, Dr. Morcassius answered. Okay, I thought that wasn't how I thought you were going to answer, I said. We then entered our building and rode the elevator up to the 7th floor, made a left turn, and we were in Robbinsog. Hello? Dr. Morcassius asked when we entered. We're packing now! You boys need to begin to pack too! Yelled Mommy from her room in the other side of Robbinsog. She's right, said Dr. Morcassius. I then went back to my room and began packing up my clothes. I need 11 of everything, since I will be gone for 11 nights. Pack a dozen everything, so that we have a spare. Pack a dozen of everything, so that we have a spare, plus a swimsuit, because you're going to go swimming a lot, yelled Mommy as I was opening the drawer. Well, she is right. So, what are you excited for, I asked. Now, not the drive down. This is my first time doing it, said Dr. Morcassius. You must, I was saying before I was interrupted. I know, interrupted Dr. Morcassius. That's why getting a driver's license is an important thing to have, even if you don't use it much because of where you live, said Sam. I know, said Dr. Morcassius. Do you need a reminder of the route we are taking down? And up? Do you need a reminder of the route we are taking down and back? Asked Sam, because roads is a main interest. No, answered Dr. Morcassius. Then can you please prove it to me? Sam asked. Down. I-90 east to Gary. I-65 to Indianapolis. I-865 east to I-465 east to I-74 east to Cincinnati. From there, I-75 to Wildwood, Florida, to Florida's Turnpike South, aka State Route 91, into Orlando. Up, Florida's Turnpike to aka State Route 91 North to Wildwood, Florida. Followed by I-75 North to Chattanooga. I-24 West to Nashville. I-65 North to Gary, with us bypassing Indianapolis using I-465 West, and then I-90 West into Chicago. Dr. Morcassius answered. Correct, said Sam. Now, I have a question for you. What, where, and in what direction are we staying at all four hotels? Dr. Morcassius asked, clearly for revenge. Down, Weston, downtown Cincinnati, and the Hyatt in downtown Atlanta. Up, Red Roof Inn in Valdosta, Georgia, and the Mammoth Cave Hotel inside Mammoth Cave National Park in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, answered Sam. Correct, said Dr. Morcassius. Now we're even, said Sam in a good way. Dr. Morcassius and Sam both laughed. After they were done with laughing, Mommy entered. What do you want to do for dinner tonight? Everything is closed, asked Mommy. What do you have? Marcus asked. Steaks, and Mommy answered. Do you have A1? Dr. Morcassius asked. Always, answered Mommy. Fine, said Sam. Make for more, well done. Fine, dinner's in an hour, said Mommy. Where is Daddy? I asked. He's still packing. Can I talk to him? I asked. Sure, said Mommy. I then began to get along with my Mommy, but then I wasn't able to for a second when Mom had to step back in.